What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I'm back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece treasure cruise video. And today we are back with a brand new guide video how to beat the brand new Fortnite being Domino's maximum security. So we finally have the legendary BOA 6-star skill books available to us on the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise. I know a lot of people have been commenting on videos recently saying that they're very worried about getting the BOA skill books. You know, when are they coming out? You know, a lot of people were speculating that this Fortnite was like never ever going to come out just because of the condition, which we'll go through a little bit later in the video. But before we get into today's video, if you guys do go on to enjoy it, make sure to always smack that like button down below, as it's always greatly appreciated. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the video. As we like to do, let's go ahead and break down the actual units, the brand new units that headed to global version of OPTC in the video, at the very start of the video. So first off, we have Domino, the head jailer of Impel Down. Now, she is a 4-star unit that evolves from a 3-star unit, and when she evolves as a 4-star unit, she is a Psi Fighter Cerebral type unit, and she has 2 socket spots. So that's actually pretty nice, getting 2 socket spots, and she's actually a Cerebral type, which is the brand new type that just got introduced in the most recent Sugo Fest. And at max level, at level 99, she has 1800 attack, 694 attack, and then 1800 health, and 449 recovery. Her captain effect will boost the chain multiplier by 2 times, so that's half of what Ray Lee is. If you guys don't know what Ray Lee, the legend Ray Lee, does, he will boost the chain multiplier by 4 times. So having Domino here, who will boost it by 2 times, it is just a really good general, you know, just a general overall captain lead. It's actually not too bad. You know, it could be better if the multiplier was a bit higher, but you know, 2 times still isn't, you know, all that bad. And she recovers 2 times the character's recovery in HP at the end of each turn, which is actually pretty nice. So she has a recovery of 449. You double that and you're going to recover that at the end of each turn. So that's actually not even too bad. And a special ability, which starts at 25 turns and maxes out at 16 turns, will reduce bind and despair duration by 1 turn and then lock all of your orbs for 1 turn. Very, very useful unit in my opinion, and I think she's definitely one of the better bosses that we've had from a Fortnite in a very long time. So I definitely recommend trying to max her out, even though that her special ability really isn't all that useful considering sockets are now a thing. But you know, it's just a generally like a really decent unit. So now let's move on to the secondary unit that is going to be introduced within this Fortnite dungeon. So now we head over to the Mino Rhinoceros. Now this is kind of like the Mino Koala from the Sadie Fortnite. Now this one here is a 3-star unit, does not have a single socket spot, and is a strength striker tough unit. Tough is a brand new subtype or a new type that is going to be headed to OPTC. Probably the next type that they're going to release, maybe sometime around May, sometime around that, I believe. But anyways, at max level 70, he has 2,122 health, 815 attack, and negative 250 recovery. Overall, for a 3-star unit, it's actually a lot of attack. He does not have a captain effect, which does kind of suck. However, his special ability, which starts at 50 turns and maxes at 20 turns, so you need 30 skill ups in order to max this guy out. And he changes his own orb to strength and deals 25 times his attack in strength damage to a single enemy. It's really nice that he actually gives himself a strength orb. Just the fact that the cooldown for this unit is so high. You know, 20 turns, even though the special is actually pretty decent, being at 20 turns is just such a turn off, and definitely, you know, doesn't really matter. Like, even if you do max this guy out, you're probably not even going to use him because you have guys like Eustace Kid and you have the Halloween Frankie who just give themselves a strength orb anyway, and their cooldown is so much lower than Mino Rhinoceros. So obviously, you know, you want to max those guys out more than Mino Rhinoceros, but yeah, he's just kind of there if you guys don't have a really good strength unit to put on your team, and if you're just starting out the game, he's probably not that bad to pick up and put into your strength team. Now, the hidden boss for this dungeon is the Basilisk. Now, I was actually looking at this guy the other day, just hoping that he would come out soon, and he's actually here, so this guy's actually really good. So as the hidden boss, he's a 3-star unit. He actually has 1 socket spot, so you can try and max it out. Don't know which one you'd want to probably go for, maybe matching orbs as we go into the special in a second. So he's a Dex Fighter Tough unit. Obviously, Tough isn't available yet, so he's just a fighter unit right now. When that new type does come out, he will be classified as a Tough unit, or whatever they name it. And at level 70, which is his max level, he has 1,525 attack, health, and 644 attack and 128 recovery. Not too bad for a 3-star unit. He doesn't have a captain effect, but his special is what makes him so decent. So At 16 turns is the start, maxes at 12 turns. He boosts the chances of getting Dex Orbs for 2 turns. That is really, really good. So if you guys don't know, guys like Thatch or Little Laws Jr., they have a special ability which for 3 turns you get a boosted chance of getting either Quick or Strength Orbs respectively. And that is such a good special. Really, really good. And just the fact that you now have a Dex version of that, and it's free to play version of that, it's so good. Even though his stats don't really make him that much useful, you know, you have other guys like Law and Apu basically just to give you Dex Orbs anyways. You have this guy, if you guys don't have a really good Dex Orb manipulator or an Orb booster or something like that, you can have this guy, give him the matching Orb socket, and it's so good. You're going to be getting so many Dex Orbs while his special is active, and definitely I recommend maxing this guy out, especially if you don't have Law or Apu in your character box. This guy he's just such a great addition for Dex units if you guys don't have Law and Apu, obviously. So he's definitely a really good hidden boss for this Fortnite dungeon. So now we move on to the actual breakdown of the dungeon itself. So first off, the quest condition will make it so that all units on your team will lose 99% of their stats, which is HP, recovery, and attack, aside from shooter class units. This is the reason why a lot of people speculated that this Fortnite would like never ever come out, because we really don't have a really good shooter lead aside from, you know, Stronghold Ace and Wiper. Stronghold Ace is very hard to get, obviously he's a 6-star unit, and we have Wiper, who is a pretty hard unit to farm for in story mode in the second stage, the Arc Maxim. The Arc Maxim story mode is where you can farm him. I believe it's chapter 2 of the Arc Maxim, and a lot of people are struggling to get him. You know, you have to wait for double drop rate to get the better chances, and a lot of people, you know, were really hoping that would get the Zephyr raid boss, who gives 2.5 times attack to shooters, and he's also an int unit, which is good against the Psy raid boss for the Psy dungeon. And yeah, a lot of people really speculated this wasn't really going to come out for a very long time, but we finally have it, which is nice. On stage 4 though, he has the Domino Rhinoceros. Now, everything before that stage is just general pirates, evolution materials, turtles, and stuff like that. So the Domino Rhinoceros here, he has 400,000 health and an attack power of 6,252, and his attack interval ranges between 1 and 3 when you enter the room. However, when he does attack, he goes up to a 4 cooldown, which makes him a little bit easier to take out. But yeah, 400,000 health is actually a lot of health to take down, especially with shooters, because we don't have that many good shooters on the global version of OPTC just yet. And the hidden stage, which you can basically find on any different stage of this dungeon, is the Basilisk. Now, we just mentioned the Basilisk in the slide before this. He has 350,000 health and attack power of 2,092, and he'll attack every turn. He has a 1-turn cooldown. And he doesn't really do anything, but when his HP falls below 20%, he will buff his attack to make his power of his attack go to 3,140. So you definitely want to try and take him down before he has a lot of attack power, you know, try and take you down. So, you know, obviously, you know, these units, they're really easy to beat. They don't do anything. It's just that they have a lot of health. They're pretty tanky and will be very hard to take down with the shooters that we currently have available in the global version of OPTC. Moving on to stage 7 now, we have the final stage, which is Domino. So Domino herself has 790,000 health with an attack power of 3,920, and she'll also attack every single turn. Now, her preemptive attack will do her attack power of 3,920, and then will lock your captain for 3 turns. So this is pretty difficult, meaning that when you reach this stage, you must have above 3,920 health. Otherwise, you're just going to die instantly, so you got to make sure you're prepared for that. Also, she locks your captain for 3 turns. That is very difficult to get around, so having a unit that perhaps has a special that can unlock your captain would be very good. However, you know, there aren't really that many good shooters, so it's going to be difficult. So having sockets is the next best thing. If you have a lot of sockets on your units, then that would be great, you know, especially Golden Pound Usopp, because he's one of the best shooters to probably bring in this dungeon. And we've had a lot of different Usopps come out, like the Fat Usopp raid recently, and we also have a lot of the Afro Luffy, which came back recently as well. So there's been lots of opportunities to max out your Golden Pound Usopp, so having the chain socket on him is definitely something that you want to bring into this dungeon. Now, every 2 turns though, when she gets a chance to attack, she will lock a random unit on your team for 2 turns. This also is very, very difficult to get around. So having at least level 2, in my opinion, would be the best. But, you know, even level 1 is still better than being locked for an extra turn. So ideally, you'd want, you know, level 2 chains. You'd want level 2 chains. However, you know, level 1 chains, you know, it's still good getting 1 less turn being locked, which is nice. And when her HP drops below 20%, she'll lock your entire right column of your team for 99 turns. Basically, in most cases when that happens, you'll most likely lose, unless if you have a really good special that's still active. But yeah, overall, you want to try and burst her down that last 20%. You do not want her to attack for that last 20% where she locks your entire right column for 99 turns. And the marine units that surround her, they're pretty weak. You know, they've got 30 health. However, they do have a lot of defense, and if they do get a chance to attack, they do 3,580 damage to your team. So you definitely want to try and break that and try and kill them before they get a chance to attack you. Let's break down the skill books that you can find within this dungeon. First off, as we mentioned at the start of the video, Boa Hancock, Warlord of the Sea skill books. This is so good. A lot of people really wanted these skill books for their boa, and they finally have them. So if you guys don't know what she actually does, she recovers 15 times her recovery in HP, and then will delay all enemies for a single turn. That's a very good special, and it actually maxes out at 13 turns, I believe. So maxes from 17 to 13. So, you know, 13 turn cooldown for 15 times her recovery, which is like 6,000 or more, I think. I don't know the exact statistical data on that. So it's a lot of recovery and a delay by 1 turn, which is very nice. Additionally, you have Capone Gang Beige. Now, he's also so good. He'll change strength and dex orbs into quick orbs. That's a very good special. And then, on the other side of that, you have Ezo, who will change strength and quick to dex. So these two are very good orb manipulators for their respective attributes. And I highly recommend it. If you guys do have these units, try and max them out, because you're going to probably need them in the future of OPTC. I definitely have been using Capone a lot, especially against Blackbeard, farming Blackbeard. Chaining those negative dex orbs into the positive blue orbs are so good. And, Ezo is very good for Strongword Ace teams or Blackclad Ace teams. He's very good. And additionally as well, you have Shoujo, who was available in Jaya, and I noticed that his special was pretty decent, so I'm going to, just put him up on the notable skill books here, where he reduces bind and despair duration by 2 turns. Pretty nice. So if you guys did drop Shoujo, then here's his skill books. You can try and max him out. Ideally, you'd have sockets instead of this special, but if you guys can't get the sockets for your units, he is there as well to reduce bind and despair duration by 2 turns. Go over some recommended units that you should bring into this dungeon. Now, first off, I'm going to say is that definitely bring a team that has level 1, at least level 1 bind resistant sockets. This allows you just to clear the dungeon a little bit easier. Level 2 anti-bind would be the most ideal situation, just so that every 2 turns when Domino attacks, you don't get actually hit by her effect where she'll lock a random unit on your team for 2 turns. So having that would be the most ideal situation. But moving on from that, we have the best leads that you can bring. So, Global doesn't have Zephyr as of yet, so it means that clearing this dungeon will be a little bit more difficult for a lot of people who don't have access to, the most ideal shooter lead in Zephyr. He's the most easiest one to use. You can drop him pretty easily from 40 stamina, and just chuck him in a team as your captain. It's very nice. So if you guys don't have, your 6-star Blackclad Ace, then you can bring other guys like Suru and Absalom, Kuriel, Log Frankie. All of those guys will boost your guys by 2 times attack for your shooters, which is pretty nice. And obviously you got Blackclad Ace, who will boost them by 2 times or 3 times if they've got a matching orb, and he also boosts their HP as well. Now, you could also bring Wiper if you guys were lucky enough to drop him from stage 2 of the Arc Maxim. He's actually really nice as well. He gives an attack boost to shooters by 2.25, and will also boost their recovery by 1.5. Not their recovery, their HP, sorry, by 1.5. This makes shooter teams a lot more tanky. So either Blackclad Ace or Wiper are the most ideal shooter leads that you'd bring to this fortnight. But if you guys can't access those units, then you'd have to access either Suru, Absalom, Log Frankie, or Kuriel. So those are probably the most ideal shooter leads that I would recommend for this fortnight dungeon. Subunits, there's not a whole lot you can really bring. Any of those captains that you didn't use on that list right there, you can potentially bring on your team as well. But for filler units on your team, you'd want to bring int shooter class units. So ones that I can think directly off the top of my head would be Don Krieg, and Lucky or Raki. Those 2 units are pretty nice to bring. You know, they're pretty powerful. Also, you got Kuriel, and you've also got Suru up there as well. So any of those 4 units, you know, those would be really nice to bring against Domino. Also, Golden Pound Usopp. Because there isn't any debuff protector within this dungeon, bringing Golden Pound Usopp for the Domino stage is almost a requirement. You know, you pretty much need that. Otherwise, you're going to be taking so much damage from the Marines and from Domino herself. So definitely, I would recommend bringing Golden Pound Usopp. You know, he's a really nice shooter. He actually gets a lot of attack power boost from, you know, Wiper and Ace. So I highly recommend bringing Golden Pound. You know, obviously that 3-turn delay, so OP. So definitely go ahead, bring it, your Golden Pound Usopp. And then, as I said just a minute ago, make sure to bring into shooter class units. You know, Kuriel would be the most ideal. He has a lot of attack power. He'd be really nice to bring. And you got Suru and Don Krieg as well for that poison. Might be a little bit useful as well. And to conclude yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Now, if you guys did go on to enjoy today's video, make sure to go ahead and smack that like button down below, as it's always greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to stay up to date with all the content that I post on my channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.